Previously, found a dragon. All right, Questo. Oh wait, no, he died immediately. Oh well, I mean, you win some, you lose some. In these fantasy universes, you knew there weren't a whole lot of dragons left in the first place. So as tragic as it, oh wait, no, you're right, Bellstorm, or the Demon King, because I don't know why they called him that the one time. Yeah, it didn't really help too much. And now goblins, yokai, are in town. So that might be an issue too. Well, whatever. I mean, I took care of a lot of, well, okay, it was a giant cockroach, a big robot that's maybe 1,000 years old, and your annoying goblin sorcerer. Man, maybe I'm not ready for, wow, Rain. Don't you have a wife or something that you might want to go check out? Whatever. On his terms? Why can't I fight him on my terms? Seems like, yeah, I know the whole growing power thing is supposed to be preventing that, but I cannot believe that fairy is still healing me in the middle of the cutscene. Look, when I was initially recording this, it wasn't that annoying. It wasn't until I'm watching this later that I realized how ridiculously irritating the fairy is. Look at that artful cut there, where I had in the light fairy instead of the healing one. Yeah, that's because I was screwing around in the prelude area. Of course, I mean, I can't just spoil what the area that I'm going to be going to is immediately. And have a really ridiculously long time getting... Yeah, you already know what it is. It's the title of the video. But yes, there's a bunch of these little roly-poly bugs down here, and it leads into some pretty neat tunnels underneath Toronto now. If you go around in Toronto, not in the houses, but around but in the basic town area, it is filled with those big bugs. They're everywhere. They're attacking the town. You even get a unique music track for the town now, which remains until the game's end. This is the last dungeon. Oh yeah, the quest is over. The only thing left to do is prevent the... God, when you take out that bow, it is clearly just the sword swinging animation with a little extra on it. Oh, so yeah, town is overrun, and now you got these huge tunnels that you're going down into. Huge, very dark tunnels, chock full of these bugs, and when you hit them, they will roll up and become invincible. So it's a little irritating, but I love the claustrophobia. I love the darkness here. It's a really, as far as the prelude areas go, this one is simple, but you know, the last two ones have been pretty simple as well. I would say it's effective, more effective than most. We're going into the Demon King's domain. The former, what was it? Realm of the Gods? Shrine of the Gods, which I'll be getting into in just a couple seconds here. Yeah, there's not too much for side areas, or this isn't like the side of Civilization where you can walk around and get a whole bunch of items and stuff like that, find some things, explore around. No, you're pretty much there to get in there and finally take down the Demon King, which you just learned about in the Ice Castle, but don't worry about that. It's also kind of generic of a plotline, but yeah, what are you gonna do? It's Brainlord. Like, unless the giant Demon King was gonna be in a giant brain. Here we are. It's all led up to this, the Platinum Shrine, and you get that stanky bass and some awesome music, and honestly, Platinum Shrine, one of my favorite dungeons. The entire aesthetic, every single enemy in this area are all pure platinum. Every single part of this area is just drenched in this beautiful silver color. You get this great theme. I mean, compared to most, it's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'll say. Look, people, this is why monarchies don't work. What we need to do is rise up and take back the means of production. Profits are just the unpaid wages of the worker. But that's for a different time. I mean, look, I think you could pretty easily convince them to go full communist society. Did you hear that guy in the Toronto episode talk about how the recession was hitting the place here? That's some Enix dialogue. But look. Ramir, as you know, the Dragon Warrior, he's going to have a lot of clout after this. He'll be a real big boss type of character, and he will be the person to convince everybody to join in on the revolution. Anyway, so yeah, Platinum Shrine. This is a big area too. Really huge dungeon. A lot of puzzles, a lot of stuff, and... well, let's just say that despite being one of my favorite areas, and loving the aesthetic, loving the music, everything like that. Even like some of the puzzles. There's some problems here. Wow, those are some really large, empty-looking areas. I wonder if that might have anything to do with the problems that I was talking about. Surely not. Oh well, I suppose we'll see when we get there. Yeah, and you might notice that around these areas, it's not actually the bottomless pits that appear in all the other parts of the game, but it's dark water, and that's actually a mechanic in this dungeon. Which, if you've been paying attention, water. Wasn't there somebody say something about that back in the Toronto episode? But anyway, it works the exact same as the pits, though. It's a little unfortunate because they build it up even in this area. There's one of the plaques that explains a little bit of what it actually is, but it's really just effectively a pit. Oh well. It does have something else going on with it. Ooh, this area. Yeah, proper puzzle, man. No, the puzzle is not just walking on the buttons. Sink into the western sea, silently in the northern sky. Son of Oblivion will rise from the east. World will be in flames in the south. Okay. Ominous. Ominous, certainly. So, just wondering, did the... Yeah, it took me a while, but I wasn't really figuring out that puzzle. Hey, much like the clockwise puzzle, quote-unquote puzzle from earlier, I forgot what direction east and west were. Yeah. Statues coming to life. Now, I'm not saying that's Zelda, but that's Zelda. But also, they work exactly like every other enemy in the game that is of their type. They just have this cool platinum color to them. They really committed to the theme of the Platinum Shrine, which is the thing. I love it. I absolutely love it. The aesthetics here are amazing. The slowdown is not nearly as amazing, but that's fine. That's fine. Ignore it. I've been ignoring it all game so far. So, looked like a puzzle, but no. Or it looked like something. This is the same company that did make Kingdom Hearts, so it's neat to see the original inspiration for that. It's exactly what it looks like, and I have the light fairy out. Don't think. Oh, we'll just take the light fairy out. You'll break it. No, it's not just darkness. It's super darkness. That's one of the major mechanics of this area. Every one of those areas is pitch. It is literally an invisible maze. You have to just wander around in there, and later parts of the areas. Oh, there's a bunch of them in here. Later parts of the areas even put enemies in there. You just have to wander around, and this area was so cool, and they ruined it by having the worst. Once again, prospective game designers, don't put invisible mazes in your game. This may be some of the worst design that I've ever seen for a game. I guess they wanted to really pad out the time because the actual file for the Platinum Shrine was a good 2.5 hours long because you don't know where you're going. You can't look at the X-ray goggles. You saw, they're just big open areas filled with nothing. You can't see the walls or anything. Yeah, there is a plaque on the wall there, which you can barely see. Maybe YouTube is lighting up the background a little bit more. I know they are wont to do that, but in a little tiny window in DaVinci that I'm watching right now, I couldn't see it. But yeah, that wasn't just, I guess, the Demon King talking to you. Oh my god, it is so bad. It is, I cannot even, it's something you have to experience. It is so terrible, and it's so huge, and you don't know where you're going. Every time I go into one of these dark zones, I completely... Great. Yeah, fantastic. Every time I go into one of these dark zones, I speed it up, because it's time-lapse... The fastest of time-lapses. I think these might be 8 times speed or something. You can get a vague idea of where you're at, but you don't know where any of the walls are, and you just have to wander. Oh my god, it is... Oh, it is incredible in the sense that I do not believe that this was made by any people with credibility. I think if I was gonna guess, I'm betting this was a very, very simple thing to design. This did not take a whole lot of time to create. Oh yeah, and also you can't use warp gates in there, so... Oh, get wrecked, Ramir. Oh... It's so cool, and the music is so good. And it's the perfect build-up, and they ruin it. They ruin it with the worst dungeon design that I made. I cannot think of any worse dungeon design that I've ever seen. Oh. Oh. Why, Brain Lord? Why do you do this to me? This is not an intelligence thing. You're just wandering around. You might as well do the old, put your hand on the left wall and then just go around until you solve the maze. But even then, you can see that the areas that you have to go to are in the middle of the darkness. And some of the areas are just big open areas. The walls aren't connected. It's... Oh. But yeah, let me tell you. One of the reasons why I wanted to do Brainlord on the channel in the first place is because I do have something of a soft spot for it. It's an obscure, weirdo SNES RPG. Is it very good? It's kind of mediocre at best. It starts stronger, and then you get the Dark Zone, and you get the Silent Stones. After the Silent Stones, why'd they immediately do it again? Ugh. Yeah, and of course, they have locked doors inside of the Dark Zone, so even if you make the door... Oh, those blue carpets are pretty baller, too. The Silent Stones in Droog, the annoying slippy slidey physics in the Ice Castle, the Dark Zones, even in what's otherwise a super awesome area that I love. Brain Lord, you're good, and you're also kind of bad. Also, I really like the idea of having a full series, and legitimately done. I am putting my all into this series of Brainlord on the channel for no reason other than to confuse people. That's right, did I spend 6 hours and nearly 6 parts? Yeah, 6 parts playing this game just as kind of a troll for people that subscribe to me? Maybe a little bit. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Why don't you play Wizard of Legend or something? No, I'm playing Brainlord. Okay, that's not really how that works. I already had all these videos have been done since last July or something. I'm just actually commentating them now. Oh, those giant pinball looking dudes are... What they do is when their face sort of lights up, or opens up on the ball, what happens is... Ew, gross. Get that thing out of my inventory. But yeah, what happens when the face opens up on the ball, they create a gravity field which pulls you towards them, and with the pretty questionable and not all that great... Yeah, rush past them, that's the strategy. But yeah, with a kind of questionable and not all that great platforming in this game already, it's made even more questionable when you have these enemies that will screw around with your physics even worse than in for example, the Ice Castle with its ping-ponging against the walls, or the Site of Civilization with the conveyor belts, or the mudslides in Droog even. Boy, they use that gimmick a lot in this entire game, I'm just realizing right now. It's one of those standard video game sort of puzzles. I'm sure that it maybe took 5 seconds to program because everybody making this game had made 100 of them previous to this. But yeah, at least you can kill those things, or destroy them. I mean, they're big platinum balls. Also, even the name Platinum Shrine, it is so cool, I love it. The former home of the gods, taken over by a demon who has infested it with darkness. Horrible dark water, a zone of darkness that not even light can pierce. Creating some of the worst design that I may have ever seen in a video game. Brainlord, why do you do this to me? Also, why do you have such a stupid name? There's very little lording of brains, and I pointed out even all the way back in the Tower of Light, the first part of this entire series, that there are no actual... That tower that appears on the box art, that if you look in the description and see the the poster art for it on the video. That big floating tower in the sky never appears in the game in any way, unless that's the Platinum Shrine here. But I clearly went down into the earth. This is we are smack dab in the middle of Hades. All the slowdown, it's like I'm doing. Oh yeah, nice shot. Yeah, with all the slowdown, it's like I'm doing bullet time here. It's crazy. But those are the Platinum Knights, one of the more unique enemies of the area, along with the gravity balls, I suppose you can call them. Yeah, gravity orbs. That's actually kind of how I would just... Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the gravity orbs, that's very similar to the boss of the Site of Civilization. I don't know, apparently the developers didn't think so when they put the Dark Zone in the game. Oh, man. But, yeah, it's weird that the gravity orbs appear. Maybe there is... Maybe the Platinum Shrine is actually a secondary Site of Civilization using the same sort of technology that they used to create the Guardian robot, the gravity robot. Was utilized here first? Or maybe this is the final form of it. A more efficient, better version of it. I don't know. There's also those Platinum Knights who... they're just knights. They're platinum, they do stuff. These are teleporters. I think this is literally the only place that they appear in the entire game. I mean, there was something like that in the Site of Civilization, but they weren't this color, if I remember. It's been a grip. Bear with me here. Oh, man, it is incredible that even to this point, they are introducing new mechanics and stuff like that. Very simple mechanics, but... And it is just using the animation from the... Oh, God, get out of here. It is just using the animation from when you're using a warp gate or whatever. Oh, and look, they knew. They knew. Love it. They love doing this to you. To be fair, it's... Oh, yeah, and with two of them at once, pulls even harder. Great stuff. But I'll be honest, that was a pretty cool room. Kudos to you, Enix. I am very glad that, as far as I know, you've never used that darkness mechanic again. Please, when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, please don't have Ramir as a character in here. And he's like, hey man, you gotta help me in the Platinum Shrine. You can fight the bonus boss. It'll be the giant cockroach from World 1. Yeah, World 1, the Tower of Light. Oh man, Brain Lord. Again, all the bosses that I fought, aside from maybe the Gravity Orb monster, were not very threatening, all things considered. It's weird that I'm going to meet... I guess I do have dragon power now. I have been infused... The blood of dragons, the blood of dragon warriors flows through my veins, but also the power of dragons. As you saw, he zapped me with lightning many a time, over and over. It's worth a try. I mean, he'll just respawn anyway, but whatever. Oh, yeah, they're not just floating around there. They knew. They knew, man. Still, it's weird that they... Yeah, of course. Oh, and here's where I switched out. Instead of the lightning bow, I got the mace. Mace always has huge power. Not as huge power as axes, but it's the much better range means that you can pretty easily take down even these enemies. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. The entire idea is that you're just barely not supposed to... You can see the end, you can see the goal, but you have to go through these crazy, these crazy falling blocks and deal with the gravity orbs and everything just to push these rocks on there. Don't push again. Don't do it. Yes! Oh, a little bit of clever game design. I like that. It's well thought out enough where you're just dangling the prize right in front of the player. You're just dangling the prize right in front of the players, but you still know that they have to go through hell to get it. Every part that's not the darkness is so good in the Platinum Shrine. I love it. But, the darkness is so bad. Oh, Night Key. I wonder where this is going to lead. That just straight up looks, you know, speaking of Kingdom Hearts again, that just straight up looks like Oblivion. From that game. I mean, pretty much every single one of the keys in this game do look like they could be used as a weapon, which something I'm pretty sure I said all the way back in the Site of Civilization episode, so excuse me, that was 8 months ago. Oh, there is I think actually the door over there, way on the left, the west, as I would have liked to have told myself, By the way, I was recording this at like 3 a.m., so... Oh, excuses, I know, but... This was pretty much one big session that I recorded this entire game. I don't know why, but I was also unemployed at the time, so maybe that's why. There is also, and I think over on the west side there... Ah, crap. If you get the right key, if you find the right key, there is a super sword. I think it actually shoots out beams or something like that. Really? I can. Weren't you gonna do that before, dude? I mean, I'm not... whatever. But yeah, there is a super sword. I did get that in my very original playthrough a couple years back of this game, but I didn't get it in this one, unfortunately, because, like I said, Platinum Shrine is enormous, and it can be kind of a pain. Oh, here we go, finally the explanation of the Dark Water. And the pirates thereof. But yeah, don't touch Dark Water, melt stuff. Oh hey, what up, dogs? Yeah. Hey, if Rain couldn't do it, how could Barnes? Yeah, it is going super well. Oh, yes! Phaser. Finally. That was the thing that they hinted at all the way back. Yeah, whatever, Barnes. That was the thing they hinted back all the way back in the Scientific American Journal. Wow. Harsh. Hey! Gameplay being used in cutscenes. I love it. But yeah, that was something that they had hinted at all the way back in the Toronto episode. And it's just a projectile. But because it drains all of the water from somebody's body, that includes, too, the Dark Water, being able to create just little platforms here. They disappear pretty quick. It also does more damage than your regular magic shots, or I think any other magic in the game, but it has a pretty long cast time, too. The main thing you're going to be using it for is another little unfortunate, but not as bad as the Dark Zone area, where you need to be constantly charging this up to shoot out the phaser, to evaporate the Dark Water, and then after a few seconds, those platforms go away. And if you ever fall off those little teeny tiny single tile platforms that you created, you go all the way back to the beginning. Neat idea. It would have been nicer if you didn't have to cast it. I don't know, maybe make it so that if you have the phaser equipped, you just walk across the water and it automatically dries up. Then you can also cast it, maybe even get bigger or more permanent flooring. What am I saying? This game came out in 1994. Yeah! I still refuse to try to scum out the best things. What is this, 7th Saga? Get out of here. 1 to 3. I'll take whatever I get here. I don't even think I've ever looked at my stats in the game, because it doesn't matter. Who cares? Why does the gravity orb have to be there? Yeah! Evaporate all the water in that gigantic metallic ball. Whatever. Oh, come on! You should just refresh it. Why did I have to wait for the animation to play out? But yeah, that's all the spells in the game. With the insanity that happened at the witch's shop back in Toronto, I was able to see what the selection of spells that I could buy was, but who cares? Phaser is the best. It is the most scientifically magey type weapon around here. Right? Why would I ever need anything else at this point? Hooray! 7 power. Is that nearly... I think the dragon gave me 10 power. That's why I'm keeping out this thing that I kept confusing with the Fire Imp. Fire Imp was never anything but trouble anyway. A real Ramus of an imp. Okay. Yeah, it just really is unfortunate that there is a lot of waiting around associated with this, but that said, I would rather have a million. I already read that. Going to flood the world with dark water. Pirates, etc. But yeah, I would rather have this than the Dark Zone a million times over, which thankfully I have not had to go through yet. Again. Well, again, I already went through it once. Oh, come on! Oh, man. Maybe they just give me an accessory. You know how you got, like, the cape, you got the spiked boots? Give me an accessory that gives you the ability to walk on dark water, like Dark Jesus. Why'd that guy drop cheese? Again, not even a good item at this point. It's been supplanted by the mushrooms and meat for so long, he should have been dropping meat. What are you doing? Yeah, I was really going to charge it up just for that single tile there. I do not trust the jumping in this game. It's not very good. There's a number of things that could have used a lot more time in the oven here, and that's one of them. Also, like everything else in the game. Everything. Oh boy. I can tell you that at least this room is pretty short. It does require a key. Oh, alright, HP Lovecraft. Tell me more. Alright. Yeah, I do not have the key for that. That is the final area, as you would probably guess. Time dying. That's right, the final boss, the Demon King, is actually a gigantic clock. And I have to kill it. No, that's not true. That would be a little surreal even for this game. Which, I mean, this ain't exactly Earthbound, I don't know if you noticed. Which does have clocks. Dolly's Clock, it was in Moonside. Oh, Moonside, I love that game. I would say probably don't expect me to play a whole bunch of... Come on! That was the easiest place to put in a secret. Why didn't you do it, Enix? I know you got it in you. You were willing to put in teleporters for this single area of the entire game. Why weren't you willing to... Nah. Just regular old knights, platinum knights. It's kind of weird. Platinum days and platinum nights. It's kind of surprising that I've not yet gotten a platinum key yet. Gotten a lot of other darkness and decaying and evil related keys, but nothing platinum. Strange. Definitely gonna have to go back and do that puzzle eventually too, because I did eventually remember my cardinal directions. It took a minute. I'm not proud to admit. Did I know that was coming? Yes. Never loses its luster. I'm gonna take this key and use it to make Metal Gear Revengeance 2. Or, I don't know, what are they even working on these days? Hideki Kamiya, what do you think of the remake of? Platinum Key, what do you think of the remake? Tweet at me. Tell me more about Windex. Anyway. Probably. Ramir is a magical scientist, after all. He knows all about these very, very scientific magical terms, like probably not contaminated. Because you all know that the floor here has been just absolutely perfect, flawless up until this point. I don't think this is where you use the platinum key. No, yeah. I think that's for the super sword, the holy sword of legend, or whatever, I don't know. There's the meat. That's what I'm talking about. Give me a whole haunch of chicken there. Or whatever that drumstick is supposed to be. Maybe turkey? This is a medievally type game. I cannot believe I still have the duplicate key in the inventory. I'm never going to use that. Oh, look at those huge areas. And you can see way over on the left there that even if I did get into that door, it is a huge maze. Oh, and is that all dark water? That's all dark water. I'm remembering more of that now, and I do actually go in that area. Surprisingly, I'll say this again, for the X-ray goggles are a surprisingly accurate thing for a way of doing a kind of low-rent mapping of an SNES, well, map. It's neat. I would like it if you could use them quicker. Maybe a map button instead of having to use those from your inventory. Of course, Brainlord is known for nothing if not some really bad late game designs, but also slowdown. No, but also a lot of inventory management. You are in and out of that inventory at all times of day for everything. I didn't even bother trying to do any sort of organization, even during the times that I wasn't recording here, because it takes so long to swap around stuff and do things. It's all horrible. That's what I'm saying. I hate it. Yes, now here's the question. Where does that key go? If you guessed all the way back on the first floor, way over to the left, I think that's it. Oh, it's the floodgate key all over again. Where it's somewhere in the dungeon. I gotta tell you, it's weird that there are a lot of parts of the game that were done really well earlier, and now suddenly not nearly as well. Missing Platinum 2. Yes, I know myself from 8 months ago. I'm well aware. There you go. Now that I got the ability to use Phaser, I can finally go over here to this mysterious... Oh, God. And not only that, it's also the biggest. It's not even the biggest. It's that other one that you saw earlier. Oh, you just can't do anything to avoid it. You can use the X-ray goggles to get a vague idea of if you're making any progress anywhere or just wandering around in circles. I guess there's also the Platinum Knights, which are kind of hanging around a little bit, but... Oh, man. Enix, why do you do this to me? Why do you hurt me? I made this series out of love and a desire to troll my watchers. Viewers? Viewers. Subscribers, really. My good friends, you subscribers. Damn it. Why did you even let me in here if I don't have the key for this? Oh my god, this game. Really saves on making a lot of assets, too, when it's pitch black. Yeah, no. Didn't want that to be a mimic. I didn't think it was going to be a mimic, but... Again, I'd like to point out 8 times speed. 8 times speed. So what's this key look like? Looks more like a jagged knife than anything. Ooh, radiates light? It's destruction. Alright, this is getting a little ridiculous. Keys on keys on keys. That's what happens when you play Brainlord. That's not really helpful in any way. Like, not even a little bit. Oh, boy. So, now that I got this key, where do I use it? One trip to Toronto later. Oh, boy. And I think I was actually going around the Platinum Shrine at that time. Oh, yes! Finally getting back here, figuring out that... Try again. Sink in the Western Sea, not the Eastern Sea. Oblivion will rise from the Elder Scrolls 4. The plain of Molag Bal. Nope, north. Rise. And south. Kablamzo. Ooh, gimme. This better be good. Yeah, sure. I've been rocking this helmet since I got it all the way back in, what do you call it, the Ice Castle. So, it's unfortunate that it doesn't change anything. Nah, it's just the... Which, speaking of which, did I lose my... When did I lose my shield? I don't even think I noticed when I was playing the game at this point. Yeah, when did that happen? Oh well, whatever. 2 extra defense points, not all that big of a deal, but it's enough of a big deal. I mean, come on. Let me tell you, the final boss of the game is... He's something. The Demon King. Nah, man. Oh, okay, so, alright. Yeah, I could have sworn there was a platinum key that went in there. I guess not. Yeah, tighten that body. Work them abs. Oh, boy. Hope you like Phaser. Hope you like me grinding out using Phaser over and over. Oh, and they got jellyfish in here to make sure that you get stunned and then fall directly into the dark water that melts everything. And crap. Maybe not the best idea to get there. Because as you can see, I couldn't move. That's bad. It's not going great. Okay. Close, but I managed it, well, I'm not going to say with a finesse, but I managed it. Is that not good enough? Are you not entertained? By Brainlord, probably not. I think it took like a good 2 weeks or something for anybody but myself who just watched the video to make sure that it was uploaded to watch the first part of Brainlord. But now that I have nearly 10,000 subscribers, I can force this on all of you for no real reason. I love you, Brainlord. Alright. So this entire area is just a huge maze where you can only use Phaser to get through. Which again, and they still make it difficult regardless of that, because, you know, this was going to be too... this wasn't going to be irritating enough prior to them putting in these enemies that don't even hurt you. My god, that is a bat from the very beginning of the game. The Super Enix bat from the Dragon Quest games. That dude that looks like he's straight out of Dragon Quest 1 or something. That's amazing. Why is he in here? What is this? Sometimes you get the feeling that the dudes at Enix, they're just having a giggle. They know, and they love it. I wonder if anybody that worked on this game, I couldn't tell you any specific people. I thought... No, I don't even remember. Ooh. Sure. Yeah, Heart Locket. Give me some more health. It's been a minute since I've seen one of those. Cool. Probably should have saved that because it is also a full heal. But, whatever. How many revivification mirrors do I have at this point? Yeah, I couldn't tell you anybody who works on this, but I wonder if you asked them about Brainlord. They were like, oh yeah, did you get to the Platinum Shrine? Ah, that was such a good joke. We knew nobody would play to this point in the game, even though we put so much work into it. So we decided to make sure that anybody that got here would absolutely hate it at the same time they loved it. Especially that Mr. Phoenix guy who the Oracle told us was eventually going to do. Oh my god, why? That was the entire area over again. We knew he was going to fall in the dark water. He was foretold by the elders. Here's the big area. And much like a net hack, they got the big room. This is the big room of Platinum Shrine. Nobody knows what I'm talking about with net hack in the big room. That place has killed me more than anywhere else in net hack, by the way. I hate that place. You get mobbed by enemies too easily. So, anyway. This area is, surprisingly enough, pretty open. It's not... There's not as many walls here as you would find in just about any other part of the Platinum Shrine. But that does not mean that it's easy, because there's a bunch of walls around the one area that you need to get to. And for some reason, 2 pillars way on the western bottom part there. I don't even remember if anything's there. Oh no, there is. Okay, fine. Just prove me wrong immediately. Yeah, alright, more defense. Why not? Would have never found that if not for the X-ray specs, but... And I may not have found that anyway if I found my way to the other door. But, what are you gonna do? Oh, Brainlord, you Brainlord. And of course, as if it's not hard enough to tell you're going already, they put in the gravity orbs in here to make sure that you doubly didn't know where you're going. Because they wouldn't want it to be too easy after all. Hey, come on, it's the end. You gotta give a good show here. Just let me down here for the love of God. Oh, Montresor. This is interesting. Just a bunch of little narrow hallways. What an unusual way to create an area. Yeah, you can even see on the map, it's just a big maze. And also that kind of just tells you exactly where you need to go as well. It's simple enough. No gimmicks here either. I don't even see anything. Yeah, just the stairs up. All right, easy enough, I suppose. Floor is broken there, which is pretty obvious. Oh, one of these is gonna be a mimic, no question. Oh, the drink. Haven't seen that for a while. And no. All right. Hey, entropy key. Something said something about entropy somewhere in this. That is a pretty baller looking key too. Apparently on the third floor? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Oh, Platinum Shrine. Ooh, Platinum Shrine. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that area down there, it's just a big maze. That's it. No gimmicks in there. Nothing. A little bit more brain lording here. This is a cool little puzzle where you need to... where it's not just enough to get the ball in there, but you need to get in the ball that follows you in there at a specific angle. That's fun. Definitely feel like there was a lack of brain lording in the later parts of this. Sure, you had the destruction puzzle earlier, but I wouldn't really consider the Dark Zone a particularly puzzle-intensive area. Nor the phaser. But still, stuff like this, it's still good. Overall, I think even when I started this series, I was saying that I don't think there's that many despite being Brain Lord here, there's not actually all that many puzzles in the game, and I think it was mostly because I just remember the kind of latter bits of the game, where the earlier bits had a significant amount more. And even though the stuff that's here is pretty good, and in, for example, the Ice Castle, you had that kind of original puzzle where you need to use the one button on the face of the controller that, right, the one button on the face of the controller that isn't used for anything else. You know, clever, kind of stupid fourth wall breaking. Oh god. Kind of stupid fourth wall breaking, but at the same time, I can't say that was a bad puzzle. It got me. Whatever. It's a good thing that Ramir is apparently, you know, as dense as a dwarf star, because otherwise those balls would just roll him over. Okay. I mean, it worked. Yep. So with a little bit of artful timing, I totally screwed it up. Brain Lord, baby. Jump in frustration. Link can't jump in frustration when he fails a puzzle. That's what makes Brain Lord better. No. Alright, get back there again. It's fairly obvious what you need to do, but you do need to be able to do the actual timing related to the whole puzzle here. Kind of neat. Kind of clever. Not particularly difficult, though. Sure. You sure you want to hurt yourself for no reason there? I like that it doesn't lock to a single tile like that. For whatever stupid reason. What is this? 3 a.m. when I was trying to do puzzles, and it didn't really work out nearly as well as I would have liked it to. Ah, well. Attempt 3! Really should just cut out this entire area because this is ridiculous. Or time left just to get through it. It's fairly... I had the puzzle the first time. I don't know why I thought, oh, I'm going to try to do something else. Maybe I can stop the thing from... No. No! Video game puzzles, man. I think I said what back in the Ice Castle episode, the strength puzzle in Pokemon? Sometimes, even when you played video games for literally thousands of hours, you still get tripped up by the stupidest things. Afterworld. What is the vampires? Underground 2 Afterworld? with the vampires and Mia Jovovich? I don't know. I'm sorry, and they weren't werewolves, they were lichens. Lichens. You know, as if they were made of moss or something. Ow. It's nice that at least doesn't do too much damage as well, because that could make it a bit of an issue for me here. Oh boy. I think this is why they gave you the drink in the previous area. Yep. Just so you might be able to outrun these things if you didn't want to throw on your cloak. Which I suppose probably the reason that I'm taking so little damage is because I did get that, well, some pretty good armor up until this point, but also the platinum helmet from way earlier. Now you might be saying, why go through all this rigmarole? It's because I didn't remember if there's anything else that I didn't look at in this area. Is it worth going through the darkness to get back? No, I got warp gates, dude. I hate it. You can see the gravity orbs immediately started pulling me there. Now, I thought there was at least one last thing to get in here, but it's still so weird that there's just nothing in here. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that I'm just missing. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah? No. No, not really. I mean, maybe something to my left there, but maybe something way over to the right? Man, I don't know. Platinum Shrine, like I said, it's a big place and it's a rough place to get through. And not only because of the ridiculous dark zones. But I mean, let's be honest here, this is the last little bit. Obviously I have, did you see that gigantic red key that I have in my inventory right now? Oh, we're there. We are at the end. Ready to go fight the king. King of demons. But come on, I wanted to at least try to get the... I wanted to at least try to get the holy sword, the super sword before I got there, even though I really don't need it. I have a lot of healing items. I have a number of revivification mirrors. Well, 2 of them. But I also have meat and, whatever. Sometimes, the hard part isn't getting it. The hard part is letting go. You ready? I'm ready. Oh, I cannot be more ready. It's all led up to this. And not in the way that I said before, but in the way that it has actually all led up to this now. Fighting the Demon King. Fulfilling the wishes of the last dragon. Saving the world from dark water. From evil water. Let's go. Oh, I got 2. Oh, yeah, it even says on the 4th floor. Where were you on all of the other keys? Like, yeah. Well, yeah, this is his house. Kind of in his house right now. Yeah, okay, there you go. Never used the platinum key. If only I could have remembered where exactly it was, but this is a pretty big place. The Demon King. Really, just the generic boss theme? Well, anyway. No. Not just yet. I totally failed fighting him the first time. And we got a different message here, too. Yep, because you know... Yeah, I pretty much warped out of the battle because he wrecked me. He wrecked me the first time. You see how I have no money right now? Yep. Okay, this time. For real, the Demon King. Really? He is a really, really generic looking monster. Yep. This is what they're ending the game with. Yeah, but he's got some stuff to him. He really doesn't have that much to him. Called me a smart aleck. That's weird. All right. Getting rid of that tail there first, because, you know, the tail obviously denies you a lot of area. A lot of slowdown, too. All right, let's go. He's showing his true face, and he doesn't look any better than he did before. But as you can see, he does a lot of damage to you, and he can dash at you, which does quite a bit as well. We gotta be kind of worried about that. Oh. Yeah, the one thing that the Demon King does have going on is that when you do enough damage to him, he will start to throw off his body parts, which then become individual monsters. That's neat, but at the same time, this is the sort of thing you'll be fighting in the Tower of Light, if I'm being perfectly honest. Yeah, one of them is that big caterpillar thing. One of them is this big bat thing. Bat thing's probably the most annoying. But any time that he throws out one of those fireballs, it will break the floor. And if you fall into the black water that's underneath the floor, redo the entire boss battle, dog. About time to get a refresher on that. Or not, I don't know. Oh yeah, the little worm thing also does have gravity abilities as well. So kind of watch out for that. And he does quite a bit of contact damage. I was sort of expecting a gigantic platinum monster or something. Oh no, his true face! And it looks like a cheap Halloween mask. Oh my god, that was so much damage. And this is why you stock up on the mushrooms. Mario knew what he was doing. Oh yeah, he actually cast the magic missile thing at me. Or maybe it was the bat, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, hitboxes! But yeah, much like the gargoyles or the ice castle boss, that bat flying around is real irritating. There we go. It's a good thing I grabbed that shield. But yeah, you definitely want to watch out for that worm thing, but the worm thing will also teleport away from you really easily, so watch out for that. Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is that the first time that I fought him, I blew both my revivification mirrors, so I don't even have a saving throw, as it were. Yeah, take that, demon. No taking over the world today. And, yeah. It's much like fighting Lavos. You gotta defeat all the parts to be able to beat him. It's not actually the giant monster that's the real monster, it's the left bit. Which is to say, this weird worm thing. There we go. That's it, everybody. Ramir has saved the world. And that's Brainlord, y'all. I'm out.